Hello and welcome everyone into another episode of Husky Trivia Mayhem brought to you by the new SCSU Huskies app. We're continuing on with our Huskies Trivia Mayhem tournament. We're over on the red side of the bracket, the better side of the bracket. Of course, I'm your host, Sam Getzinger, and joining me today, we have three very solid contestants. Let me introduce them to you. Coming in as our number 3 seed, replacing Caitlin Peterson, who won the first time she was on. And it's Katrina Tice representing the women's basketball team. Katrina, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now, Caitlin, when she won, she became the 3rd seed after we had our selection show. So now that you're replacing her, you're our 3rd seed. You're the highest seed in this little competition, so best of luck to you. You're going to be competing up against Morgan Evans, who is representing the softball team. Morgan, how are you doing?
Doing good.
This is your first time on the show, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, looking forward to having you answer some really tough questions if we get there. You're the 8th seed in this tournament, and you guys will also be competing against Jake Leonard from the SCSU men's soccer team, the new men's soccer team. Jake, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, Sam?
Well, Jake, I gotta tell you what, you won the last time you're on, so you should have a pretty high seed, but we are swapping you out with your head coach, Coach Holmes, because Coach Holmes couldn't be here today. So you went from the 7th seed to the 13th seed, thanks to Coach Holmes. So next time he tries to make you run in practice, you just bring that up, and he should just void that for you.
Yep, I'll keep that in mind.
All right, and pick up a win today maybe while you're at it. I'm sure he'll enjoy that. So Huskies Trivia Mayhem, the tournament on the red side of the bracket. Should mention our number 1 seed is out. Coach Reimer, he lost to a 15 seed, so he's out of the competition. The top seed in the red side was Coach Doc Swendra of the baseball team. He's moving forward. And we also have our wild card, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So before we start with the questions, let me run through the rules for you. We have 10 questions, 9 multiple choice. So how this will work, I have you all in order from highest seed to lowest. So Katrina, you'll start the first question. Just a heads up for you. If you get the question wrong, we'll defer to the second person. If the second person gets it wrong, we'll defer to the third person. If nobody gets it right, then just no points are awarded. So just a heads up for you. The last question, now typically we would do a 2 points for that last question, the 10th question. It's a little bit of a short answer. So if you have a pen and a paper available, you write it on there. Katrina, I know you're in the car there, so we'll just put it on the Zoom chat and I can read it off for you. That'll be no problem. So that question, instead of it being worth 2 points, it's actually a wager question. So say, for instance, if you have 3 points, you can wager all 3 of your points. If you try to win by a large margin, or if you're trailing and you want to win, if you get it right, you get those 3 points. If you get it wrong, you get no points. So it's kind of going to take some strategy when we get there. That's how Reimer lost his match. He wagered all his points and he got the question wrong. He got down to 0. So we don't want to see that happen today. So just keep that in mind when we get back to that 10th question. Now, I do want to let you know something new in the tournament style of this Husky Trivia Mayhem. We do have a wild card that'll make it to the next round. Right now, our wild card is Kelsey Whaley, one of the staff members at the athletic department. She has 6 points after her first round of competition. So if you get above 6 points and you actually lost in this competition, which is pretty impressive, you might be able to move on, pending anything else. So those are the rules. There's a lot at you, but I think we'll be able to figure it out as we go. Any questions from you 3? All right,
Nope.
Good to go. Now, let's hop into our topics. Now, I don't know the category yet. Neither do you guys. And we're going to have our high seed, Katrina. She's going to help me pick the category for today. So I need a number 1 through 3. Bottom line
1.
here. You're going with number 1. All right, so our category for today is Marvel's trivia. Marvel trivia. Superheroes. Anybody a big Marvel fan? I am. A little bit from Morgan. Jake, not a big Marvel fan. Katrina, a little bit. All right, this should be interesting. We'll see how this goes. Once again, I want to remind you, the Huskies Trivia Mayhem brought to you by the new SCSU Huskies app. Let's hop into it. Question number 1. Katrina, you'll start us off. Here's your question. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what well-known band backs up Iron Man with a slew of their songs? So who backs up Iron Man with the music in the movie? Is it Black Sabbath, AC/DC, Iron Maiden, or Metallica? Tricky one.
I'm going to go AC/DC.
That's correct. That's a good answer. You were a little worried about that one, weren't you? Little music
Yeah,
trivia to add
I'm a
on
little
to the
nervous.
Marvel trivia. AC/DC was the correct answer. We'll now go over to question number 2. Morgan, this one's for you. Here's your question. Though a fictional character, what real-world era was Captain America created in? So when was Captain America created in during his fictional time? Was it World War II, the Cold War, Great Depression, or World War I? This one's tricky.
I want to say World War One.
You locking that in, or you want to switch to another one?
I don't know. You're making me
No,
nervous.
it's up on the air for you. You're going with World War I. You locking it in?
Yeah, I'm locking it in.
All right. Unfortunately, that one's incorrect. So Jake, will go over to you. When was Captain America created in the movie series? World War I off the board. World War II, Cold War, or the Great Depression?
I'll go World War II.
That's correct. You were close, Morgan. You were close. One World War off. You would have had it.
I
We'll go
know,
over to question number 3. Jake, you get to have this one. How many movies are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as of right now? This is tough. Not being a big Marvel fan, this is tough. Is it 5, 12, 29, or 23?
I'm gonna go 29.
29? That's incorrect. So Katrina, back to the top of the order. 29 off the board. 5, 12, or 23? How many MCU movies are there?
23.
That's correct. You were close, Jake. You were close. Almost had it. 23 was the correct answer. 23 really good movies, I tell you that much. Once again, I want to remind you, Husky Trivia Mayhem brought to you by the new SCSU Huskies app. Be sure to download it on your App Store and the Google Play Store if you have that. Question 4 is for Katrina, so you can take a 2-point lead here. What is the name of Thor's hammer? This one's pretty tough. What is the name of Thor's hammer? Thundercracker, Mjolnir, Mashbakun, or Stormbreaker?
Milner.
That's correct. Mjolnir was right. Stormbreaker would be another good option, but that's his axe. So Katrina taking a commanding lead early. You're up to 3 points. Morgan, let's get you up on the board. Which of the following is not an infinity stone? Is it reality stone, space stone, spirit stone, or time stone? Which one of those is not an infinity stone?
I want to say Space Stone.
That's incorrect. Space stone is an infinity stone. Jake, what do you think it is? Space stone off the board. You got reality, spirit, and time.
Is it Spirit?
That's correct. Jake, up to 2 here. You're catching up to Katrina. So now, Jake, you get to start off this next question, too. Question number 6. We're getting close to the bottom here. We got to get you, Morgan, on the board here pretty soon. Here's your question, Jake. Thanos is now one of the most infamous in movie history, but when did he make his first appearance? Which movie did Thanos make his first appearance? Is it A, Avengers Infinity War, B, Guardians of the Galaxy, C, Avengers the first movie, or D, Iron Man?
I'm gonna go Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's incorrect. You got that one wrong. So, Katrina, back up top to you. Guardians of the Galaxy off the board. When did Thanos first appear in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie? Avengers Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy off the board, Avengers the first Avengers, or Iron Man? It's tricky.
Infinity War.
You're going with Infinity War? That's
Yeah.
unfortunately incorrect there, too. So, Morgan, 50-50 shot here for you to get on the board. Let's see if you can get it down. When did Thanos make his first appearance? Avengers, the first Avengers, or Iron Man?
Avengers, the first Avengers.
That's correct.
Yes.
It was in the credits. It was in the credits. So if you watch the movie the whole way, then you would have saw it. So Infinity War was a good answer. That was one of his big main movies. So again, want to remind you, SCSU Husky Trivia Mayhem brought to you by the new SCSU Huskies app, available on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Question number 7. Want to remind me who led off the last one? Was that you, Jake?
Yeah.
Okay, so Katrina, we'll go back up to you, top of the order here. Since 2000, how many live-action Spider-Man movies have there been? How many live-action Spider-Man movies have there been since the 2000s? 4, 2, 7, or 10?
4.
4, good answer. Unfortunately, that one's incorrect. Morgan, we'll go to you. You can actually tie Jake here. How many live action, not animated, Spider-Man movies has there been since 2000? 4 is off the board. 2, 7, and 10 are left.
7.
7, that one's correct. You're close, Katrina. You're close. That was the second best option there. Of course, Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Spider-Man Far, Far From Home. So those were the 7 that were made since 2000. All right, question 8. Morgan, you could hop into second place here if you get this one right. You have 2, Jake, you have 2, and Katrina, you have 3. So we'll see how this one goes. We're wrapping up towards the bottom here. Morgan, you'll start this one off. What year did the Marvel Cinematic Universe start? 2008, 2000, 2012, or 2018? When did the MCU start?
2008?
Locking it in?
No, 2000.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Yes, I'm sure. 2000.
Wait, which one? Which one are you going with? First one or the second one? When did the MCU start? Think back a little bit. I'll give you a little bit more time. Think back.
Gosh, 2008.
That's correct.
Yes, okay.
I know I'd scare you a little bit just after. Sorry, 2008 was the correct answer. So you're now tied in first place. What a comeback this is right now. Jake, we got to get you back on the board here. Question number 9, X-Men movie. In the X-Men movies, who plays Wolverine? Should be fairly easy. Is it Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, Hugh Jackman, or Chris Evans?
Hugh Jackman.
There you go. How about that? This is pretty tight competition going into the 10th question. So all 3 of you nodded away at 3 apiece. Now, before I ask you the question, I got to ask you how much you want to wager on this 10th question. Remember, there's some strategy here. You can wager all 3. If you get it right, you tie Kelsey to get in the wild card. If you get it wrong, you lose. You get nothing. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm going to start with you, Jake. Since you're the lowest seed, you're gonna tell me how much you want to wager here. Minimum of 1.
I'm doing all 3.
You're doing all 3. I like that. I like the fire there. Morgan, how much you want to wager?
Gosh, I'll do 2.
You'll do 2. All right.
Yeah.
Safe play. Katrina, how about you?
I'm gonna do 3. Go big or go home.
You're gonna do 3. All right. That's how Coach Reimer lost. Just a heads up for you. He was leading, and then he bet it all and lost. So we'll see how this one goes. So Katrina, you're betting 3. Morgan, you're betting 2, and Jake, you're betting 3. All right. What's your question? 10th question. Short answer. Katrina, you write it in the chat, and I'll read it off for you. What is Captain America's shield made out of? There's 2 options. Just write down one of them. Spelling is. I'm not going to critique spelling because I probably couldn't spell it. So, what was Captain America's shield made out of? This is a tough one. 2 available options. If you get it right, you pretty much win. So we'll see how this one goes. They're all thinking it out. I like the concentration here. Morgan doesn't seem too confident.
Okay, whatever. We'll try.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Everybody got it locked in and loaded?
Hold on once. Okay, I think I got it sent.
Okay. I see Katrina's here. She has it there. Morgan, Jake, do you guys have it written down?
Yep.
All right. On the count of 3, you're going to flip it over. 3, 2, 1. Let's see what you got. Jake, what do you have?
I said plutonium.
So, Morgan, you got steel. Jake, steel's not right. I'm sorry. You said plutonium, Jake? Unfortunately, that one's incorrect. And now, Katrina, I said I wasn't gonna talk about spelling, but you said proto-atom something. now, I mean, that's kind of right. So, vibranium was one of the correct answers, and now I'm gonna botch the pronunciation of this. So it's going to be adamantium or adamantium. That's what it is. So I'm gonna give that one to you, Katrina. I'm gonna give that one to you because you had the atom. Morgan went with steel. a little bit stronger than steel, and plutonium, unfortunately, incorrect. So, Katrina, you got 6 points there. Morgan, you got 1, so you ended up in second place, not bad. And Jake, you lost it all, unfortunately, with 0 points there to wrap it out. But hey, that was a lot of fun. Katrina, you're going to keep going on with your 6 points. You'll go up against the likes of potentially Kelsey if she keeps on in the wild card, and Coach Swendra of the baseball team. So this should be a lot of fun. Thank you three for joining us here on Husky Trivia Mayhem, the red side of the tournament. We'll be back for more coming up next week.